Hey, Willie.
What's going on?
Hey, Willie. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing awesome. Well, I'm going to tell you something straight up, man. First of all, today is my 15th wedding anniversary, and my wife is a huge Duck Dynasty fan. But so how well this interview goes is going to completely decide my day, but no pressure, man.
Well, hey, you got a lot to live up to.
I do. Well,
hopefully you back that up with something more than an interview with me. So
I hate to tell you, Willie, but you're my A game today. But no,
good.
It's all good. Let's get right to the business, man. This is a big day for you. You got a brand new book, American Entrepreneur. What inspired you to write this thing?
Well, we had written a book, a couple of books, one called American Hunter and American Fisherman, and so which kind of things we were passionate about coming out of Duck Dynasty. And another big story of ours, and really, which is how we got to have a TV show, was the business that we had, and that the business that my father had started, trying to sell these duck calls, which is a unique business to say the least, and it's what I grew up in, and so I've done pretty much every aspect of that business from a child. We worked and we answered the phone, we dipped the duck calls. We'd sit around we could come in from school and watch Dukes of Hazzard, but we had to fold boxes at the same time. That was the rule. So our living room was always piled up with duck call boxes, but then I also had my own businesses. Unfortunately, Dad didn't pay us any money, so that was for, he said, room and board and food. So I understand that better now, and so I had to go hustle up, make money, the best way I could. I had a pretty vibrant worm farm business, so I sold worms to fishermen that came along the banks there of the river, and but that was a real labor-intensive business, and my siblings kept stealing all my inventory, which is never a good thing.
So Jace was putting his fishing skills to work, I guess.
Well, he was putting his thievery skills into work because he would go in there and get my worms, and so because I'd have to go put them all in there, and then I would sell them out, in cans and do that. Then I went on to selling candy, candy and gum at my school, and now that was a good business. I was making hundreds of dollars doing that, and really rolling. And my fifth grade teacher called me the Little Tycoon. That was my nickname. And but then the principal called me in his office, and he shut that business down, unfortunately, and so that was over. And thinking back, I wish I'd have just cut him in on the deal, and maybe we could have had a really good business going there. But and then went on to other things. So we put those stories in the book from our own lives, and then we wanted to highlight really entrepreneur stories from all through America, from the beginning all the way up until now. We found some fascinating stories that I think can inspire people. I think people can read these. They're interesting just to know, and but they can also maybe be inspired because what I found was they're from all different backgrounds and different ages and different education levels, and which I thought was cool. It's not always, the blueprint's not always the same for sure.
Yeah, well, and a lot of things you can learn from the book, but I was honestly getting a big laugh out of the time when you were sharing, you learning that there was a garden gnome version of you.
Yeah, isn't that wild? That's great. I've had so many strange products that I've seen with my face on, and the garden gnome, that was an interesting one, so I never thought about it. And now every time I wear a stocking hat, I'm I'm not sure if I look like that gnome or not. So
yeah. Well, what would you say?
There was a lot of products came out of that.
I got my Willie Pez dispenser right here. So, Willie, now, what advice for a Wyoming person would you give them if they're thinking about starting a business?
In Wyoming?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe a hunting guide. I'm not sure what's going on out in Wyoming. I have been out there, and so some of the things I think that helped us was finding what you love to do. And so my father was he was a gifted athlete and had his master's degree from college, but really he just wanted to be in the outdoors and do what he was passionate about. And so he was looking for a way to do that, and fishing and duck calls was the route he took. And my other key is being patient. You got to be patient. And people say, Willie, what's it like? You guys were an overnight success. And I'm like, well, we started the business in 1972, so that took I don't know what your idea of overnight is, but it seemed like a long journey for us. Just to stick with it, be patient, keep on. Dad's motto, he'd say, how you selling them duck calls? And Phil would always say, one at a time. And so, and really just that hard work. That's the story that across every person that we put in the book was a very strong work ethic, and I know people in Wyoming understand hard work ethic, so I don't have to tell anybody out there about that.
So, Willie, have you and/or your family ever been to Wyoming hunting or fishing?
I have been. No, I really. Trying to think. No, I don't believe I have. I've been out there, to see things, but I never have been out there to hunt and fish. Martin goes every year. He goes out there to, I believe, deer hunt. So, but yeah, I haven't been out there. It's another state. I got 50 of them, so I'll get them over time. Speaking of being patient, I'll get out that way.
Well, I'm gonna tell you,
I haven't been able to do a lot of the western hunts because when we were filming the show, we were filming during those early times. So now that we're not filming, so I was out in Utah, and so now I'm starting to get out there a little bit earlier.
I'm going to tell you, we got a program here specifically near Casper where it's called Hunting with Heroes, and there are wounded veterans from all over the country that come here for guided hunts. You would absolutely love that.
I think, that's weird that you say that. I think someone just invited me to that.
All right.
In fact, it was at an airport. I hope that person's listening because I gave them my information. but they told me I was at an airport, and they told me about that event, and because they said they were from Wyoming. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm going to look that back up because, I gave my information. I said, it sounds interesting.
Well, I know you're a busy guy, especially with the book out today, Willie, so I'm going to let you get back to the rest of your life, and I got to go brainstorm on this anniversary thing.
Hey, you got 50 years to deal with, so you better make it special.
Sweating bullets. All right. Well, Willie Robertson, thank you so much for your time, brother. Blessings to you and your family, and hope you have a great day. We appreciate your time.
Good deal. Happy anniversary.